So today, this Friday, going into the weekend in our Transformer world, was the Target Geek-Out, a Target event where they show brand new exclusive product to their website and stores. And the big theme with Target this time around was really giving fans a second chance to get rare and highly scalped items that were quickly selling out the first time around in our toy collecting world. It wasn't just Transformers, but Marvel stuff, Star Wars, and more. These were all items that currently right now in the secondary market are going for crazy numbers, and Hasbro clearly recognized, like, hey, we could get a piece of that instead of some dude on eBay who's, 5xing his money on this Wolverine figure. So we have here on the Transformers side of things a whole bunch of really cool stuff, and we're going to cover these and explain why these are important reissues and why we should consider picking them up if you didn't the first time around and didn't know what was going on. So first they teased at an upcoming reissue. It looks like it's going to be a straight up 100% reissue of the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Generation 1 DevCon. That's fantastic because people had a really hard time getting this the first time around. And currently, he's going for more than double his MSRP of $24.99, even loose complete ones. And considering how fans have been waiting more than 40 years for a good, decent figure of DevCon that also isn't like a convention exclusive, just something for retail, I mean, that's great, and we got, shafted because of distribution, timing, a lot of different things. And now we're going to get a second chance to pick up this iconic Autobot bounty hunter. Real talk, even Proto Man here didn't find one in retail. And I didn't want to pay what dealers were asking at TFCon. Oof, $50, $60. Come on, guys. Let's be real here. DevCon ain't for pre-order just yet. But Target and the different socials and partners have been saying it is coming soon. So stay tuned for that one, and we'll keep you posted. Next up, we have an item that did drop for pre-order on this Target Geek-Out and on Target's website. And it's a straight-up reissue of the much-needed older item in Transformers Studio Series SS51 Deluxe Class Dark of the Moon Soundwave with Laserbeak. This is another one that had a really small window of time on the shelves and then kind of just disappeared, and his MSRP from $24.99 almost triple X'd instantly afterwards. And it's pretty crazy. And I mean, just literally a few days ago, this guy was going for easily like $60, if not more, on eBay. Now, this reissue and pre-orders are still ongoing, so if you have not picked it up, you could close the gap right now and pick this guy up off of Target, and he will be shipping out not long after that because the planned ship out and arrival is December 1st, 2024 for Soundwave and Laserbeak. Pretty cool stuff. And last but not least, one of them that is probably one of the biggest scalper ones of the bunch here, and it'll be definitely a scalper saver. And it might be a small indication of what might be happening with brand segmentation moving forward. We'll get into that in a moment. But Target also put up a pre-order for Transformers Studio Series SS66 Leader Class Constructicon Overload. Now, there's two parts to this that I want to break down. We'll start with the finance side of things, then we'll get to the other one. So when first this dropped, this original figure, this Leader Class, it was 2 per case, and it was really tough to get because it hit retail right at the peak of the Big V. Man, when people were shutting down, you couldn't get to the toy sections. It was really tough. And while there was some online purchases that were happening around that time, a lot of people didn't know when their next paycheck was. There was an uncertainty of the future between the closed retail space and all of that. It was just perfect storm for this item just to have difficulty falling into the hands of fans. And again, it was one of the more upper echelon items, one of the more expensive ones. We're not talking deluxes, we're talking leaders and beyond that. And then not too long after that, they did a box set version with Devastator, which was even more expensive. And once again, people didn't really want to park their money because they didn't know what the future was going to bring. So what happened was his original MSRP was $51.99. That was the pre-Leader Class, pre-inflation price. And it easily went 3 times to even 5 times its amount in the secondary market. 150, 250 was crazy. And, he's a key piece of your Devastator combiner. So when you have that also need to complete something for a team, whether it be seekers or combiners, it adds that extra like FOMO to a product and that need to complete it. So now we have an opportunity. Granted, it's the new inflation price post 2022. So MSRP is now $54.99, so $3 more, but it's not going to kill you. But it's a far cry from the $150 to $250 that the secondary market is asking right now. Now, this guy is going to be shipping out in March of 2025. And the reasoning why, unlike Soundwave, that's going to be in just a couple of months, is because this dude also has a new packaging style for Studio Series. And also, from what the solicitations were from a couple of months ago, SSMTMTE collection, More Than Meets the Eye collection, which I believe now that's going to be changed. I think there's something going on here, a new segmentation. So on the packaging, if you look at it, this new packaging, side with the new art and everything and the new styling, it says Power Collection above the Overload naming. And there's no Studio Series numbering this time around. This might be some kind of new buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series platform, much like what Target had in the past, and a way to kind of get out those reissues that were much needed for the retail space that got scalped. And now we have this new kind of sub-branding and segmentation, not to mention to avoid the confusion of the SS numbering that buzzworthy Bumblebee had in the past with Studio Series. It looks like they're kind of planning something exclusive to Target for that to do in the future as kind of a platform to put out these hard-to-get items. So Evan and BMAC, reconfirming that they're recognizing the secondary market and doing something about it, and getting, trying their best to get these items into factory schedules and produced for reissues. And granted, it takes time to do these things. Schedules are tight. There's only so many slots that are available at factories and how many workers that could do it, and factory space and machines and everything. And I mean, between the singular Overload release in 2020 and then the gift set version 2 months after that in late 2020, I mean, that's a solid 3 years for Hasbro to recognize the market and then make the call to make a reissue happen. So it just shows how the process is in a lot of ways. Better late than never, but keep that in mind for the future. Don't always worry, the opportunity will present itself. So both, again, Soundwave and Overload are available right now on Target to pre-order. DevCon will be coming later, so keep an eye out for that and don't miss out on your chance. And, let me know if you want to get these guys, or if you lucked out the first time getting them. I know I'm going to be gunning for DevCon when that comes around. And again, thanks again for listening to the Transformer Slag podcast and keeping you educated, entertained, and informed about our hobby. And we got the Transformer Slag podcast Saturday Night live stream tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you tomorrow. And again, thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you in the near future.